everyone, this is Heather. In this video I'm going to show you how I made some crochet headphone covers, and I made them specifically so that they wouldn't fall off. I've had issues with that even with the ones that I've crocheted. So I finally had to get creative and come up with a way to keep that from happening. If you are going to be using your own pattern and you're just interested in what I did to keep them from falling off, there's a timestamp in the description below so you can just quickly jump to that part. All right, let's get started. So you're going to start out with a chain 4. And then we're just going to slip stitch into that first chain to make a circle. We're going to be working double crochets into the circle. So we're going to chain 3, and that's going to count as our first double crochet. So there's our chain 3, and now I'm working in a double crochet. So there'll be a total of 12 double crochets that we're going to work in the circle. And you're counting the chain 3 as your first double crochet. All right, so go ahead and finish that. And don't join them. Okay, here we are. What I'm going to do is put a stitch marker in the last stitch that we made, and I'm going to do this so that we don't lose track of our stitches, because in the next row we're going to be working single crochets, and it can be really easy to lose track of your stitches when you're working single crochets in the round. So we're going to go ahead and single crochet into the top of the chain 3 foundation stitch that we made to join, and then we're going to do another single crochet in that same stitch. Then we're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, and then another single crochet in that same stitch. So working this round, it's going to be 2 single crochets in each stitch. Then go ahead and stop once you get to that stitch marker. Okay, so here we are at the stitch marker, and the stitch marker indicates the last stitch that we're going to work in this round. So you should have right now a total of 22 stitches. Or 22 single crochets. So once you've confirmed that, we'll go ahead and work our last 2 single crochets where the stitch marker was. And then we're going to put our stitch marker back in to the last chain from the hook, because the next round we're going to be working single crochets as well. So single crochet into the top of the first single crochet to join the round. And then this time what we're going to do is we're going to skip 1 chain and then do a single crochet. And we're going to skip the next chain and do another single crochet, and we're going to work like that all the way around until we get to the stitch marker. So skip 1, double crochet. Excuse me, not double crochet, single crochet. Okay, here we are at our stitch marker. And remember, that indicates the last stitch that we're going to work in this round. So, but in this case, we're going to skip it because we had just done a single crochet in the last stitch. So slip stitch to join. Slip stitching into the first single crochet we made in that round. Then we're going to cut off about 12 inches or so of length because we're not quite done yet with this yarn tail. So go ahead and fasten off. And I had actually crocheted in the the first yarn tail there into my work, so I'm just snipping it off. But if you need to weave that in, go ahead and do that. And turn it right side out. And then I'm going to work that onto the headphones. And then you're going to go ahead and thread your yarn needle with that yarn tail. And we're just going to work the yarn needle into the top of one back post and then the bottom of the next. So underneath, or over, underneath. So over one, underneath the next, over one, underneath the next. And you don't need to be real picky about this. I certainly wasn't. I was just making these for my son for school. So once you're done, you get all the way to the end, go ahead and just give the yarn a nice snug tug. We want these to fit tightly, but don't pull so tight that you break your yarn or the headphones, of course. And then I'm just going to tie a little knot in order to keep that nice and tug. So just go into a loop, make a little circle, put your yarn needle through that circle, and then pull your yarn needle through the last circle again and pull it tight. Now, just making one of these would probably be enough. I decided to go ahead and make a second one, as I'm feeling a little paranoid about these falling off. And you can see me trying to hide the big ball of knot that I made. I wasn't successful. I think I ended up moving it and just kind of hiding it. There we go. And then just weave in your ends. Or end in this case. And trim off your yarn. And that's really it. Again, I wasn't being very picky about this. This was just something my son needs for school, and I didn't really want to have to buy new headphones just because it was missing one of the covers. But thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy your new headphones.